Boy, I was wrong, but I was right at the same time. The 4-3-3 works. It works. What's going on, guys? ¿Cómo están? BugaLuis here, and welcome back to another video here on the channel. And today we're going to be talking about Barcelona's victory 5-0 over Leganes in la Copa del Rey. Tomorrow we will know who will we be facing in the quarterfinals of the competition. It can be absolutely anyone. It can be Real Sociedad, it can be Sevilla, or it can be as hard as someone like Real Madrid. Personally, I would love to see Barcelona versus Valencia. Again, I think they are probably right now the biggest kind of threat match for match that we have in La Liga. The pressure that they just simply put on a team like us, it will make up for an incredible game. I want you to right now just comment down below. Let me know who would you like to face in the quarterfinals. But now let's get into the breakdown of this game that was just absolutely superior and saw Barcelona return to a prior formation, to the 4-3-3 that we know and love. The change of system today was certainly, I think, the main catalyst for getting this victory. All of the players look in complete synergy. I cannot tell you 100% with an exactitude that this is down to the formation, but I can tell you that they saw and looked more comfortable. They all were like understanding perfectly what they needed to do, and not just simply like the veterans from Lionel Messi, Arturo Vidal, or Busquets and Piqué, but players like Ansu Fati that, for instance, they've been knowing and been breathing in this 4-3-3 formation all their life, and it just worked perfectly. The kind of match of Setien's intensity that he puts into his team doesn't have to go necessarily hand in hand with a 3-5-2. It has to go down to the way that he manages and trains his team. So the intensity of Setien is not linked with that formation. That is completely off the chart. It can be put and matched with anything. And as you saw today, the 4-3-3 with that intensity of Setien works wonders. It really, really did. In the first half, I gotta say I was initially worried that Barcelona were gonna go into this game without any lack of concentration, just like always, you know. The first shot was from Leganes within 1 minute, and that was certainly scary for all of us. But thankfully, the goal for Barcelona came from a quick retaliation, and we managed to get very good kind of passes in between the box that saw finally Antoine Griezmann get the goal through the legs of one of the defenders of Los Pepineros of Lega, and then it went to the back of the net. This is a sort of kind of coordination that we want. And the main player that was making all of this sticky and happen was not Lionel Messi, it was Ansu Fati through the left-hand side. With Ansu Fati through the left-hand side, not only trying to stretch out the defense, but then constantly having Jordi Alba go through him, was very good for Barcelona to be able to unravel this block that was Leganes. Prior to this 4-3-3 change, we saw a lot of the time Ansu Fati playing through the right and trying to do that job through that right-hand side because there was no existing fullback. Roberto or Semedo, whoever was playing, was normally kind of implemented as a third defender, a third center back, and Ansu Fati had to do that job of the carrilero. But in this game, Ansu Fati didn't have to worry at all about kind of having marks or gaps in behind. He would just simply focus on one thing only, and that is going forward and giving the hell of a time to the right back of Leganes. Because I don't know how many times Ansu Fati just like twisted and turned this guy out of existence. Fati, for me, the man of the match in this game. Another player that I really want to give kudos to is Frankie de Jong, because before de Jong, when was playing in that kind of 3-5-2 formation, he was the guy that had to rely a little bit more on kind of the defensive work, and he still that did in this 4-3-3 formation, but I think it's much better suited to him because he can just do the vertical job that much better. The game with Quique Setién and his formation of 3-5-2 in previous encounters was always a problem having that horizontal passing, but here in this game was completely the opposite because the horizontal passing didn't exist. There was not that many players in the same line, and everything was going vertical, vertical, vertical. Most of the time, it was Busquets and Messi. Messi dropping from deep to be able to progress the ball forward, and you had Antoine Griezmann in the middle, Arturo Vidal, and then Frankie de Jong. That's how Barcelona managed to attack and break the lines of Leganes. They were playing most of the time with a line of 5 Leganes. They were really not trying to concede at all. The first goal that came in the first few minutes just demolished their plans, and that's, I believe, also contributing to the fact that Barcelona was able to score 5 down the road because Leganes were always kind of trying to catch up, and that was beneficial for us. But I just have to say the 4-3-3 works wonders when this happens, because 4-3-3, like Guardiola in times, the reason why it didn't work in the Valverde was because there was none of that intensity. But when you regain that intensity, that effort, that attitude, you put it into that system, it works wonders. The 4-3-3 is simply the best formation. It has to be. What other formation can beat this? Two other improvements that I saw that don't have to link at all with the formation is, first of all, the set pieces from Barcelona were very deadly. 3 set pieces, 3 encounters between Messi and Lenglet. The first one was Lenglet off target. The second one was Lenglet on target. Header, all of them. And then the final was Messi, Lenglet to the back of the net and goal. It was just literally third time was the charm. I haven't seen that many link-ups between Messi and a player in a set piece in ages. It looked like something they had practiced, and I want to get some insight on it because 100% they had revised that in training. Lenglet is deadly from an aerial ball, and not only in the defensive sense, but as we've seen, the 2 goals he scored for Barca at this stage in his career are all from headers as well. Lenglet, amazing job. Better than Umtiti, I would lend myself to say in the past 2 games. I still need more sample sizes to kind of, a bigger sample size, sorry, to kind of really gather enough kind of conclusion to who is better between Umtiti and Lenglet. But right now, I'm leaning towards Lenglet. I said this in a previous video, and I want to know your opinions. Umtiti or Lenglet? Leave it down below. The other improvement that I saw was that Quique Setién, something that I criticize, is that his substitutions in the game against Valencia were not the best. And I think they were not put in the best moments when actually the team needed some sort of kind of revolution to it. But in this game, 3-0 up, he did the right thing and giving game time to all of those players that needed it. Rakitic was the main one where I was a little skeptical. If it was up to me, I would have given Alex Collado maybe the time. Arthur maybe introduced him earlier. But overall, giving Arthur and giving more especially Junior Firpo that ability to get themselves with the grasp of this 4-3-3 with all that intensity, the new kind of understanding between all the players was the right thing to do. We all keep saying how Quique Setién doesn't have preseason, and these games now are going to be serving for that. Especially these games where if we get the job out of the done very quickly, then he can start trying things out. There comes a main problem where you kind of believe that you want to keep your best players to the last few minutes, but in reality, it's always the best to not procrastinate. Get the job done earlier from the start, get the goals, break the system, make the game go bonkers, and then be able to rest and put your foot off the pedal. Barca were always victim of putting kind of 1 goal, 2 goals, and then taking out and not having a good enough margin to cement their domination in this game. Because even though after the 3rd goal that came to Barca, there was a very slow, continuous run of play between the 35th minute until like the 77th minute where we saw the 4th goal, Barca were always still in control of the game, and we couldn't just see that Leganes were going to get back into it. Hence, it's still because Leganes, the 19th place team in La Liga, that has conceded, I don't know how many goals, 33 I think I said it was in the preview before. But yeah, Barcelona, when we can analyze just Barcelona individually, good game. But I cannot come and say to you that Barcelona are still going to be the favorites to win the Champions League and La Liga. This is not a good match for it. The next game, Real Betis away, that can be a test. That can be a real test. And then next game following after that, and soon we have Napoli. So Barcelona are doing good jobs. Continue with this formation, continue with the same players. I think this team that we saw today is probably the best team we have. And now before rounding off this video, the last thing I want to say is that this is a great example as to say that we do not need a number 9. The collective of this team, the talent that we have is incredible. It's really, really incredible. The midfielders all can score goals. The forwards, they can all score goals and also try to defend when they want to. It's just perfect all around. And we do not need a number 9 to get this supply of goals. We just need the team to start clicking. And that has been Barcelona for always. The best team ever to grace football didn't have a proper number 9. Didn't have a proper number 9. Villa, Messi, Pedro, where's the number 9? I guess Villa is the most close to that, but he wasn't a proper striker. He was a much more mobile striker. We don't need a proper number 9 through the middle. We don't need it to succeed. And this is a great example of how to achieve that, when the collective is always going to be better than just one player. It's always going to be like that. Always. So that's going to be everything for today, guys. Hopefully you have enjoyed. If you agree with kind of the 4-3-3 being a must to maintain and keeping the continuity, let me know down below. I'm really excited to share this Barca team again. I'm just excited to do more videos. You know, under Valverde how depressed everything was. But now finally the era is over and we can start looking towards the future. So that's going to be everything for me right now. See you in the next one. Take care. Ciao.